Hello and welcome to December's live stream, Ask the Trader, the last one of the year. Plenty to go through this evening with all of you guys. So let's head in to the content and we can see, well, we're going to have a brief market overview to start, some announcement, and then straight into your questions. So first up, market overview. We're going to look at the commodities, Forex, crypto, stocks area, see what's going on at the moment, see where it could be moving into 2023. Now, if we dive into the charts, let's start actually with Forex first, and we've got our currency strength indicators here. As you can see, the Japanese yen actually picking up towards the end of the year after being weak for so long. Actually, a bit of a pullback, but just gaining some strength at the moment. US dollar, that's that green, light green line you can see I'm tracing here. Pretty neutral at the moment after a real strong 2022. Canadian dollar down the bottom there, the weakest. Most of the others, pretty flat. And if we head into emerging markets, currencies, ruble, unsurprisingly, down the bottom there, the weakest. The Brazilian real also not looking great, but just picking up some strength just recently. We want to put these against the US dollar as potential trades. Not a lot looking too great there. Maybe USD BRL if that weakens off again, the BRL, but other than that, not much to talk about. Into cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin still very weak and it is heading south once more. We've got that nice double top in there on the Renko chart. Maybe a first stop, early 16,000s, and then it could be late 15,000s. A bit of resistance down there. And what crypto pairs could you be bullish of at the moment? Only one that I'm really watching, following at the moment. That's Pax Gold. Do your due diligence on that before investing into it. It's a buy signal at the moment, trading above its 200 moving average. And then into stock markets. S&P 500, that's my main barometer of what's going on. Up the top is the VIX, and we can see actually when it's in that band area there, it's pretty neutral. If it's going up that way, I'm expecting more bearishness in the S&P. And we go down to the S&P at the bottom. It has been trailing off. This is a daily chart here. We've got other lengths of VIX there that we can trade different ideas around, but I'm looking here at the daily, and at the moment, it might be just starting to turn down, so maybe a little bullish run into the new year, who knows, but overall still pretty weak. And if we took the sectors within that US market, what is going on at the moment? Well, I've highlighted a few. You can see their energy sector still looking pretty good. There are some components of that are weakening off at the moment. If we just scroll through a few of interest, AI on the way down. Could there be some bargains there? Unsurprisingly, crypto industry. Look how sad that chart looks, and it's still on the way down. Another interesting one, cybersecurity, also looking weak, so maybe some opportunity there as well. And semiconductors, very important sector. As you can see, trend's been down, had a little recovery, but again, looks like it could be turning south once more. Critical for so many industries, cars, EVs, tech, all sorts of sectors. So one to watch. Consumer staples looking decent at the moment, as they should be. Healthcare as well, pretty strong. So really energy, healthcare, consumer staples, they're the ones to pick. Utilities maybe as well, starting to strengthen back, but really, it's not that exciting plays there at the moment. We've looked at energy. There's some of these subsectors in the oil world that I was talking about. Is oil, gas and equipment still looking strong, and we can draw down communications sector looking very weak, really poor 2022. And there you have the energy once more, very strong. And my favourite stock market at the moment, and still remaining my favourite, is the Nifty 50 out in India. And we can see really great growth over 2022. Put on the Fibonacci's here. Got to break those highs around the 19,000. Can we see 20,500 in 2023? That would be nice. but that's my pick of the bunch at the moment. And into crude oil, again similar. I use a volatility filter here, and with it picking up at the moment, it's starting to feel a bit more bearish. I'll wait for it to come in and out of this cloud, seeing bullish and bearish areas, and I use currency combo as well to ascertain the price, and actually that's picking up. And as we can see, these are short-term charts, only 1 hour and 15 minutes. We have some short-term upside in there. We want a longer-term perspective, go to the Renko, and we can see, you know, we have that strength, a bit of a pullback, and it's in this downtrend. Is that a turning point to move back down into those 70s and then, you know, down into this zone, or are we going to see a rally up into here? Interesting times for crude oil. And then an area of commodities that interests me for 23, and more specifically platinum, and I've done a video on that, and you can follow that and see what I think of that. But you know, there's a lot of pressure there. Supply and demand issues could cause the price to, you know, go up. You know, I estimate about 40% there. And gold and silver, you see gold in the top left there, not doing too bad, and silver as well. So it's the very correlated to the gold, but can go off on tangents when it wants, but following it at the moment. And copper, barometer of China's economy, top right there. All these daily charts, by the way, pretty flat, stagnant at the moment. So that's the market overview. Now let's have a look at some announcements. And the next Ask the Traders, 25th January, same time. We have our new Platinum Members Traders Club out on YouTube. You can find out more on there. We've got some videos on that, see what you get there. And we've got some dates for that event. Wednesday, 4th January, we've got the Traders Club Members Meeting live stream. That's 7:30. And then on the 18th January, the Traders Academy, first edition of that. Content to be decided. If you've got any suggestions, let me know. Happy to maybe build them in, but it's going to be more of a learning experience, that one. A couple of exciting announcements at the end there. Copy trading definitely arriving in January. And then we've got our MAM, that's Managed Account Fund, that's been up and running and producing decent results as well. Difference between the two, well, the MAM is mostly automated, different strategies, a higher, you know, entry point for investors. Copy trading, more my manual trading, and more content in there. And again, I'll be producing videos on those in the next short while, so you can learn more from. So let's get into those questions and the pre-sent questions. Oh, what have we got? What monitor layout should beginners, you know, intermediate and advanced traders be setting up, and what each monitor can and should be used for? You know, chart, trading screen, exchange screen, news, events, any other data. That comes from Crypto A to Z. Thank you very much for the question. It's an interesting question. I get asked quite a lot, especially by new traders, and they think often that they need a dozen screens to be successful in the world of trading. Not at all. It really is down to your strategy, what you're trading. You might just have one market that you follow, one strategy, and an ordinary PC is good enough for the job with one screen. I've got, you know, anywhere between 12 and, you know, my iPad, really. I've once went on holiday and just tested my trading out for 2 weeks just from the beach on the iPad, and it worked just as well. It depends how organized you are, what you're trying to achieve. If you're a day trader, you're more likely to have more screens just because of the time it takes to flick between each market. You don't want to miss things out. But if you're more automated, you're a programmer, then maybe you need less screens, just maybe a broker watch screen or something like that. But if I was to have multiple screens, and like I said, my record was 12, and you know, in the office here where I do my YouTube videos, I've only got 3, and I use 2 for trading and 1 for everything else, and that's got, you know, brokers and emails and that sort of stuff within it. So really it's down to your trading, and you define that before you actually start, you know, within your own trading plan. So make it part of the trading plan. You don't have to go all guns. You don't need the most sophisticated monitors. there's those sophisticated PCs, you can do it pretty much on anything. I would advise not to do it on mobile phone only. That's dangerous in doing the risk trade management. Fat fingers, you can make mistakes and it can be costly. An iPad's not bad, but you've got to check internet connections, whether you're getting the streaming of the data that you want, especially if you're day trading. Highly important. So my advice, sit down, think of it as like a running your own business. What you actually need. You don't need to go too flash. You don't need sophisticated stuff. You can do it off the basics and make it appropriate to your trading. So thank you, Crypto A to Z, for that question. Then we have a question from Kaya Derin. It's one I get asked a lot, especially on the YouTube comments area. If Renko bars are independent of time frame and based entirely on price, why is it you are basing your brick size on time frames? Well, I know and I'm very aware that Renko initially was set up just as a price movement tool only, and there's not many software platforms out there that allow you to do that now. What you'll notice is that when you open your chart, there is a time frame functionality built into that Renko chart. Now, it doesn't mean time frames like bar charts, candlestick charts. What it's doing is, you've got to think of it maybe as when these Renko bars blocks close off. Now, if you have your chart set to 1 minute, the price move of whatever asset you're looking at is closed off after 1 minute. So if new blocks are created, they will be cemented in that 1 minute period. But if you're on a daily setup, they can take a lot longer to close, and they've got to wait the whole day for them to close out. So they can come and go. You might lose some, you might get some. It's more difficult to trade, especially if you're looking, into day trading using Renko charts. You'll probably want a lower time frame. Otherwise, you're not going to get the signals that you want. If you are a longer term trend follower, then sit back. The old way of doing Renko charts probably sufficient, and set to daily sufficient. But like I said, now all these software packages are asking you by default to set a time frame around that chart, especially very popular package is TradingView, and you can't do anything without setting a time frame within there. So don't think of it like the X and Y axis of the bar chart candlestick. Think of it about how those block sizes are closing off. That's where we're introducing time, and also because we can do that now, it's sort of enhancing the Renko idea further, and you can create some very successful strategies around that. So thank you, Kaya Darren. Hope that helps and answers your question. Can you show us some of your chart setups and how to build them? Mark 958. Well, we've sort of seen some in the market overview that we did, but I'm not going to go through too many now. Part of the Platinum YouTube Traders Club, I'm going to, in the new year, run through in much more detail my chart setups all the way through from how I build them, how I think about getting in and out of the trade, the management process, different time frames, different chart types, and give some ideas. But there are videos out there. For example, we saw the S&P and the VIX. That video is out there on my channel. Very easy to follow, use, set up. So hopefully that can give you some ideas. But if you're part of the Platinum YouTube Traders Club, then like I say, in the new year we're going to go through Forex, stock indexes, commodities, a whole host of stuff in a lot more detail. Thank you, Mark. And we've got one from RM. What are your New Year's resolutions, trading goals? Well, I'm presuming you're talking the world of trading. If you're not, well, I've put on a few pounds over the last year or so after a knee operation, so I want to shift that. I want to get the golf handicap down. Love my YouTube channel to have 50,000 subs by the end of 23. But in terms of trading, I'm heading more into the world of automation to free up my time. So my goal is to get better with coding, that side of trading, so I can free up time, create strategies. I love doing that side of thing, but have not spent the time that it deserves. And obviously trading goals in terms of returns, I'd love another good year. I think I'm quite actually excited for 23. I think it's going to be a good trading year. So, you know, watch this space, follow the channel and see where I go. So that, I think, was the last pre-sent question. Have we got any live questions? Let's just give it a few seconds. No, well, I can't see any questions there. So just a reminder, next Ask the Trader, 25th January, 7:30 GMT. Wishing you all a new year, a good new year, and a very profitable new year, hopefully, and hope to catch you up in January.